As a
tough.
parent, watching that, hear him talking about he kissed his son and he was cold, wearing his hands to his hair. Like I can only imagine how I would feel. And I hate that so many people had to be politically correct right now.
It's a lot of politics in this situation.
Oh, I hate it. Even it being a white man and your son down by a black young man or whatever getting stabbed, you would be it kind of be hard for me to not just show my anger and my frustration.
Yeah.
And he, as a white man, he got to think about like his children, his other child. He got to think about people knowing where he at. He got to think about people coming out saying that he racist or that's the reason why his son got killed. He was being racist. Like it's so much stuff that got to be tiptoed around, and I really don't like that because as a parent, I should be able to say, "Hey, I'm mad," and that's basically how the mom and the brother feel. Like, "Hey, my dad didn't forgave, but hey, we ain't there yet. We upset. I watched my twin brother die. That connection there." You lose your twin brother is crazy. Like I could just only imagine. And then to try to find solace, just thinking about your religion, and this might be sound crazy, but let's just say I was a fucked up individual, and you think your son go to heaven. What if I think I'm going to hell, or vice versa? You don't know if you're gonna see them again, so that even gonna play a part on even how you living from here on out. Because you got to make sure, hey, I got to make sure I'm tightroping and doing what I'm supposed to do. Because I think my son might have gone to heaven because he was a good individual. So now I got to live this type of life to make sure I get there. So even all of that, when you think about the psychological stuff that's going into this shit, it's crazy and scary.
And like I said, rest in peace, and our condolences to the family of the boy who lost who lost his life. The thing with this is, and like I said, I think this is a story we will probably do some follow-ups on because I think this is going to raise. You already got everything going on with the politics that created this racial divide. This is yet again another scenario that's going to create a further divide once more information comes out about it. Like I said, we didn't get into it in the clip, but they said they didn't want to repeat what all because we want to know what started this because it don't sound they in a affluent area. They're not in Fort Worth or Stop Six. They're in what Plano, Frisco area. This is a well-to-do community.
Right.
So what would make this boy come to this area with a knife at a track meet? Two, what happened to where he had to pull it?
See, and the thing is, he got suspended already for having a knife at school.
See, I ain't know.
That came out.
Okay.
So they got reports of him being suspended from school. With a knife. I actually screenshot, but I didn't get a chance to put it on there. But there was reports that he got suspended from school already with a knife. So this is a knife toting nigga here. You know what I'm saying? So, and the thing is, how people talk about like the brother said in another video we're gonna get to watch, he didn't get a chance to see him get stabbed. He was there, but I guess it happened so fast he didn't even see his brother get stabbed.
Yeah, it was. I think it was. It was a scuffle, from what I'm hearing, like some type of a fight, because he was in the wrong area to dress out. So again, what type of aggression would make? I'm coming to a track meet, but it sounds like I'm also coming with the. I'm with the shits.
Well, so they cleared it up. None of the boys that were in the track meet.
Oh, so this didn't have nothing to do with the track meet.
No, none of the boys were in the track meet. Both of them, I think they were saying that the white boys that was to support their team, their team at the track.
Oh, okay,
and
okay.
the black boy will go to another school.
He went to another school, and
so
they told me.
So what happened was they said it started raining.
Yeah,
and so that's why everybody was under the tent.
Okay.
Said the black boy went under the tent. He was wrong tent.
Yeah.
And obviously, now I think everybody will feel the same way. Hey, man, this is our team tent. You got to go. And I don't think nobody here would argue that if you the opposing team, hey, man, this is our tent. Y'all got tents over there. You need to go to your tent.
Yeah.
And I don't know if anything racial happened or what was said, but that would just be the thing. I would say the same thing. Hey, bro, this out. It got to be nothing racial. Hey, bro, this our tent. You got to go.
We can keep it cool, like, because that's why I say it had to be some witnesses over to see this, to really, and the fact that those witnesses haven't came forward to give a full account, it tells me something else is in the water. Because why wouldn't they come forward? Because if you see what I'm saying, where's the antagonizer? Hey, man, you this our tent. You can go over here, like, coach. Hey, you can show them where they at. That doesn't prompt me to pull out a knife and stab somebody unless he just absolutely insane.
See, and I think that's kind of because we have seen lately just the rise of just people just doing shit.
Yeah,
Just and
emotions
people,
are high.
yeah, emotions are high. People are crazy because they also said his father, Carmelo's father, came out and said that he was a 4.0 student. They went and looked his GPA up. He was only 1.1, 1.7, and 1.3, ninth through the 11th grade. So actually, him being a 4.0 student was a lie. So this guy, like people do background quick. This guy was a troublemaker.
Yeah.
So and I grew up with my grandma used to say, trouble just in find some people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if that's the idea of this person going to look for trouble, or y'all ain't gonna say nothing to me, or like the racial tension high, like these white boys ain't finna say nothing to me, it could be like that. But let me play this video real quick for what the father had.
Shout out to y'all in the chat, Hassan. Shout out to you, J Mac in the chat. Who else in the drop your comments? We will be doing call-ins later, so stay tuned for the call-in portion of the show.
I want to make this very clear. This is not a race issue. This is not a black and white issue. I don't want someone stepping up on a soapbox trying to politicize this. I don't appreciate some of the remarks I've seen online that people say there was this fight and they don't know. They weren't there. I know the truth. So unless you were there, unless you saw it, don't spread gossip.
And that's how I feel. I think a lot of people are trying to politicize this. I even seen Tariq Nasheed make a post about some suspected white supremacists. It's like, bruh, y'all got to stop feeding into the narrative of race. But I get it, because racism is $1 billion industry. When you had your Black Lives Matter down there on the basketball court, spray painted on streets, T-shirts being sold, the Black Lives Matter movement, and they made $100 million, and we ain't even seen that $100 million come to the community. But I know a lot of black people are trying to jump on the bandwagon of race. But have you also seen so many black people, even though they are speaking truthfully about the black community, trying to basically griff about just talking bad, not bad, but just talking about the bad stuff in the black community, if they agree or not? Because I've been seeing a lot of women now understand that, hey, maybe if I say, hey, y'all need to stop twerking as a woman, now I get backlash, but now my following going up. I've been seeing a lot of black women coming out. Do you think sometimes they starting to figure out, hey, maybe if I say this as a black woman?
You know what, our community and our culture is very odd, to where if you have proponents that are for the black community that speak to power, we want to empower you. We want to, have a certain level of decorum or a certain standard, a certain culture standard.
Yeah.
That if you speak against, and like as far as let's say hate speech in a sense, let's say you use your Charleston Whites, your Kevin Samuels, where we holding you to a standard, the more people hate you, the more people follow you.
Right.
But if I'm going along and I'm doing and saying all the nice stuff, a lot of times you don't really get that traction.
Right.
You don't get the attention and the ears that you need to get until you make your approach and your message abrasive. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of people are going to use opportunities such as this and others to prepare their platforms. They're going to use it to push a narrative. It's a bunch of agendas that are going to be used in it, and a lot of these major headlines people use them for their own personal gain.
Yeah, and I think it's messed up, but also the time we live in. It's a polarizing time, like I said, with the race and stuff. But let's go to this. If your son, that happened to you, and your son passed away, God forbid, I don't want nothing like that, but just hypothetically speaking, would you forgive him?
No.
I won't forgive
because him. And I'm gonna take that back. I can't say I won't forgive him. It's hard for me to. I'm very analytical. I need to see everything that transpired, because if, let's say, my son doing well, whatever, he get a scat pack or a Hellcat, and let's take the reverse. I'm sorry. Another guy got a scat pack or a Hellcat, whatever. Those are hot cars, and my son or whatever on the bullshit, he tried to take some. He trying to rob him, and the guy who owned it, he ended up killing my son for trying to take. It's not a more so do I forgive him. It's like I got to accept it. So I like look. It's a cause and effect. Look at what you did. You tried to take this man $100,000 car.
Yeah.
People ain't that ain't going. Yeah. So he put you in the dirt. I can be sad, but it wouldn't be nothing for me to address to the other. None of my gripes will be with the person who shot my son. It'll be with my son and what I probably did.
So you taking a place that if Karmelo was your son?
Yeah, if Carmelo's my son, I had to get all the facts and say, man, you know what really happened? Like, what did you first? Why did you have this knife? What did he do or say to you to make you want to pull it out and stab him?
And then I gotta ask the question: is it ever really that deep words to kill somebody? Do you think words is enough to kill anybody in 2025?
Speaking from a logical perspective, absolutely not in any year.
Okay.
But the diets, the music, the home situation, the traumas that these kids are facing nowadays that go unheard, you can't really say what this person going through mentally.
You can't, but at the same time, that's why we talk. Like I say this, a lot of people need their hands held through life. That idea that you're a grown or adult at 18, the idea that you can go overseas and fight and have a total gun and kill somebody for somebody else's cause, or quote unquote for the American dream, or trying to protect this country, all of that with that age range, and they talking about the brain don't develop to like 25, 26, and they even talking about maybe later now. And that's probably more so like we talk about the diets, the food, what we watch, what we consume on a daily basis. I think we just got to readjust a lot of stuff. Like we seeing like for instance, those girls that are grown women, in the car, drunk, showing they dash 120 some miles an hour, getting killed. Those are grown women.
Yeah.
I think now, like we got to be honest, a lot of stuff we need to raise the limit on. I don't think 16-year-olds can be driving. I don't think and I don't want to derail it from just that, but like I said, the idea that we trying to hold and try to wrap our brains around a lot of stuff. A lot of people just mentally off. A lot of people are slow. A lot of people need their hands held. Like I say, make straight jackets great again. A lot of these insane asylums need to be opened up.
Yeah, and they say like even with the development, it's about what kind of values and what kind of practices your parents are instilling in you at an early age. Like I said, we really are underdeveloped. You got a lot of other countries, they ready to go at 17, 18, taking care of a house, getting married, having families. They fully aware and mature, and they're not preoccupied with BS. I think our culture, we have too much BS that preoccupies us, and we have too much access to things that sedate us, from the alcohol, the marijuana, now you got your mushrooms. You got so many things to pick from to take my mind off life.
So do you think first-degree murder is a proper charge for him?
Nah,
basically
not first degree.
Basically, it just means you intended to kill somebody. You had the intent to do it.
From the optics and from what happened, it would appear that because you stabbed him in the chest with a knife. But it's a portion that I'm missing because, again, you in the wrong tent. So it's one. If I go to another tent and it's a team, I'm sure it's gonna be 3 or more. So you ain't gonna tell me we have a scuffle and just one person, it's just me and him, and it made me pull out a knife. Did nobody? You see what I'm saying? I say I think it's some parts of the puzzle that's missing before I can give a full.
I'm being honest. If I find that you got suspended for carrying a knife already, it has to, because it's like this. When people talk about premeditated, let's say I carry a gun every day.
Yeah.
I don't premeditate on killed Johnny at the store specifically.
Yeah.
But I got the gun on me. Hey,
if somebody get wrong, yeah. And to put more in context, did he get suspended prior to this, like on another occasion?
Yeah, another occasion, not this occasion, another occasion.
Now, see, that's why I find fault in the school. If I'm the principal and we in this, again, the affluent area, you come to my school with a knife, you ain't suspended, you're expelled. Because you could easily do that. We got how many shooters happen in Texas?
A lot. But do they expel kids now? Because I've been seeing a lot, like all these fight videos that come up down the timeline, them kids fighting in the lunchroom. Those probably repeat offenders. Yeah. And the reason that I know, because my mama work at a high school, they'll get the fine, suspended 3 days, come back, and they lose, they fight again. So it's like, are they even expelling kids like that?
I'm not aware. I really just don't know what they're doing, but I do know they're a little bit more lax in these schools now, just based upon what the.
And when I was in school, if you didn't get suspended, they sent your ass to alternative school.
Yeah, like if okay, let's say they didn't expel them, you shouldn't be able to partake in any extracurricular activities. You came to school with a knife,
right?
So that's one part of it. To where now you on the track team, you going here. So what tells me is that even though he may be troubled, this boy probably is a hell of an athlete.
Think he is a hell of an athlete?
Yeah. For them to skate over there and still say, yeah, you good. You can still play. You can still play on the team. You got caught with a knife. A lot of times, if you got to fight, when I was in high school, if you was on the basketball team, you got to fight, you kicked out the basketball team.
Yeah.
Now, again, if you that guy, you know they're gonna make amends. They're gonna make some type of concessions because you're a cash cow. People, you fill seats. You one of our top athletes, you bring home the gold. But again, you got suspended already for a knife. How you able to still partake in these sports activities?
I agree. And like I said, for them, these three guys to not even be part of the track team and those things to happen is crazy to me. Like I said, I just don't understand why this would happen with people that's, like I said, not part of the track team. That's baffling. Like I said, it's a lot of layers that still got to come out about the story. If they really got into a fight, because I hear other stories say it was just, hey man, you know, get out the tent. They grabbed his bag, basically like, yeah, grabbed his bag to throw him out, and then they grabbed his bag, he stabbed.
That's why I'm like, it's some pieces that ain't being told.
Even still no reason to stab nobody.
Nah.
And I think what we're doing now, we're starting to see a lot of people just being real. Like a lot of y'all niggas can't fight. That's why y'all shooting and got to resort to the weapons and stuff. Because you know, we believed in coming up. I think we believed in, you know, you like Craig Daddy said, you live to fight another day. You know what I'm saying? That was our belief. Like you get beat up, okay, but you know, with social media, it surfaces, and like that's another thing. What are videos? I'm sure somebody got a video recording.
And the other elephant in the room, why hasn't his parents or any of his people spoke out on his behalf, or have they?
Carmelo?
Yeah.
I haven't seen. The only person I've seen, they say I haven't seen it, but I've heard them say his father has spoken out and said that he was a 4.0 student. And then, you know, that's when they went and researched and found out his GPA wasn't that good. Because at a 1 point some GPA, you ain't even supposed to be on the football team.
So they're telling me this dude has to have some type of high athletic ability for him to have this low GPA, because you got to have, I think, a 2.5 to play sports.
Yeah.
In my day, but
that's the C average, ain't it?
C average.
Yeah, we got everybody says C average was to play on. Well, I don't know. A C average when we was in school.
Oh, you know they changed the scale now.
Oh, they did?
You know they did the look. I want to say, you know, they kicked it in to where they do it like on a scale based on where a 60 is considered a C.
Oh hell.
It's like you got to really be in the dumps to get an F now. Like you got to be in the 20s and 30s.
Oh, that's a participation trophy.
Yeah, they changed the scale, but like I said, I'm gonna have to go back and revisit. But I want to say they kicked that scale and shifted down. But ain't nobody came out and spoke as far as his peers, girlfriends.
I think he was a troubled kid. I do.
I can see that.
I don't think you just get up and get the gumption just to stab a motherfucker. I don't think if you don't have that mindset, or that it come from that type of like environment, or you just been like, I think it's kind of like, you know how we see serial killers when they show the movies, and it kind of like a build up. I want to do something. And then it just happens one day because you've been meditating and festering in your mind that you want to do something. I think that's kind of what this led to. He probably been wanting to stab somebody.
Yeah, and like I said, the other thing is, where was his teammates? He came to a track. You ain't come with your team. How you get here?
Right, but like I said, he wasn't part of the track team.
None
of them was part of the
track team. So Cameron ain't
Carmelo.
Carmelo. He's not on the track team at all.
He just played football.
He played football, so they just there supporting.
The white boys too. They not on the track team. Well, I don't know, because the daddy said in another video that the other son was there to try to get his 40 time up for the football team. So I don't know, but I kept hearing it said none of them was on the actually on the track team.
Now it makes more sense, because it is. I'm thinking they was a part of the track team, or he was at least, to come to. I'm like, why you coming to a track meet with a knife? So you know, I used to go to the other school. They got this because certain sports are more popular depending on where you at. Like volleyball, maybe you know, Northern or wherever, you may be volleyball, and you know, over here may be track, over here may be basketball. So now it makes sense. So you coming to really kick it. So you don't.
So you just asked. I researched it. It says Karmelo Anthony's family breaks silence, heartbroken over fatal stabbing. The family of the 17-year-old suspect charged with murder in the stabbing death of Frisco ISD student athlete has broken their silence. Karmelo Anthony remained in police custody on a $1 million bond in Monday. The fatal stabbing of 17-year-old Austin Metcalf at a track meet on April 2nd. In the statement released Monday, April 7th, by the Anthony's family attorney, they expressed sadness that a life was lost, and the Anthony family offered their condolences and prayers to the Metcalf family. This will certainly be a long road ahead, and during these challenging times, we ask for prayers for both families, and we ask for patience and respect for the legal process as we seek the truth. The statement read in part. Defense attorney Billy Clark and Kim Cole said that they are committed to making sure Anthony is given a fair trial and seeking a reduction of Anthony's excessive $1 million bond. The fatal stabbing at Frisco track meet. The incident happened around 10 a.m. Wednesday, April 2nd, on the track meet met at Kendall Stadium. The Frisco Police Department said an altercation between the two students, identified as Metcalf and Anthony, resulted in Anthony stabbing Metcalf in the chest. Police said by the time officers arrived to the scene, Metcalf was unconscious and not breathing. Multiple Frisco ISD student athlete trainers performed CPR according to the arrest affidavit. Metcalf was transported to the hospital and was pronounced dead shortly after he arrived in the affidavit. Anthony complied with officers and was taken into custody, into police custody, Frisco PD said. Well, witnesses told police about Austin Metcalf and Karmelo Anthony. According to witnesses, Metcalf and Anthony didn't know each other. One witness said that they were with Metcalf under their school's tent during the track meet when someone they didn't know, identified as Anthony, came over to them. The witness said Metcalf told Anthony to leave. Anthony allegedly grabbed his bag, opened it, reached inside, and said, "Touch me and see what happens." So he was going over there looking for trouble.
Yeah.
You don't just go to opposing tent and say, "Touch me and see what happens." You dare? That's premeditated.
Cause now, because it wasn't a dress album in the wrong lot. You over here dolo.
Right.
So you went over here.
And then hold on. A witness said Metcalf touched Anthony, and another witness said Metcalf grabbed Anthony. Police said that's when Anthony pulled out his knife and stabbed Metcalf once in the chest and ran away. Hunter Metcalf, the victim's twin brother, was reportedly trying to save Metcalf's life before emergency responders arrived. He told me, I looked at him. His eyes was gone. He wasn't breathing. Jeff Metcalf, the twins' father, told CBS News Texas about what Hunter Metcalf recalled.
Now, that's a part I think need to be analyzed. Okay, he in the wrong. Why you playing big dog police officer and putting your hands on folks?
See, now that's the question we got to talk about. Because why you didn't go and talk to officials that was there? Why you didn't tell your teacher? Why you didn't tell the track coach? Why did you go over there and say something to this person that you don't know? And I'm gonna tell y'all this: if y'all don't know this, if you ever see a nigga just over there dolo, don't know nobody, that person probably looking for trouble.
Yeah.
As a black person that's been around niggas my whole life, if I see a nigga just out of place, he look out of sorts, this might not be a nigga I need to say nothing to.
Yeah, I think that's definitely like that's the part that's missing, and it's gonna be some. Like I said, this story is gonna be developing more and more. I think people are gonna speak out because you're saying they touched him. I smell if they read the way you read, if they read it like wrote it like that,
What's your
they fluffing that.
What you mean?
When you say they touched him, now you was aggressive.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It wasn't no hey. It wasn't no tap you on the shoulder. Hey, bro, you know you're in the wrong area. You need to be over in this area.
Yeah.
Now you tried to be big badass.
Yeah.
And I don't want to speak down on him because he's deceased, but I think that was the scenario, trying to be big and bold and think I can control, because it seemed like he was the captain of the football team.
Yeah, he's captain of the football team.
So again, he got to show that leadership and bravado that hey.
But that's kind of what they say. Let me read this comment.
Right.
It said, I remember them white boys jocks that be on wrestling teams and all they think they can wrestle everybody. Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they do. And they think they can, it's their way.
Yeah, it's like I said, they carry themselves a little bit different. They feel like they can say what they want to say to people, which is weird. So let me ask you this question. You in the house with your family. You done told everybody you forgave them on national TV. They interview your wife and your other son. And they say, hey, man, he said he forgive him, but we mad and we angry. Do you think that caused some type of dissension in the house?
Let me make sure I say it one more time.
So my father comes out and say he forgives this guy that killed my twin brother. and the mother and father goes on the interview. Mother and the other twin
Oh,
brother
yeah.
goes on the interview and said that he could forgive them, but we ain't there. We still angry, upset. We really ain't comprehending what really happened.
Now,
So would that cause some dissension in the house?
possibly, but like I said, he's a cancer survivor. I think he has a little bit more grace because he got grace.
Maybe so.
Also, let me play devil's advocate. It could be, well, let me play clean and good for this camera, because this is I can parlay this all different type of ways. You see what I'm saying? So again, taking it at face value, they may have some type of issue with it, but I can also say, like I said, he's a cancer survivor. He got a second chance at life, got some grace. He may be on that that other end where I don't want nothing to stress me out, because you could die from that.
Yeah.
That heartbreak, that tension, that stress, that all of a sudden he may be playing it safe like that too. So it's hard to say, but the brothers and the mothers probably feel away because this was a black boy. It wasn't you see what I'm saying?
You think they feel away because of black boy? You don't think they'd be hurt if a white boy still stabbed them?
They'll be hurt, but they're not like a black boy.
Why that?
I think, and it's gonna be controversial, but I'm gonna say it. There is a superiority complex amongst whites and blacks and other people, other races. I think the black people are looked to be the scowls and of the land. Like people tired of us, because this gives the black community another black eye. We got what we're gonna talk about when we got the chicks running around Disney World with bubble skirts. We got fight videos. I posted one on my page today, and you see all these people just looking at this chaos. So a lot of times, everywhere we go, you see chaos.
I agree.
You see what I'm saying? You either see some chaos, what we talked about last week with the church. You either see, and I want to get on my soapbox for a minute. With black people, you either see chaos, somebody trying to get over. You will see some instances where we having fun, but so quickly that fun can turn into tragedy.
Yep.
We having fun. We at the concert, we vibe, because our type of fun involves smoking, dancing, alcohol, and that can go left very, very quickly.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I don't know. I think, like I said, it's a superiority complex to say you don't stab a white boy or a white man as a black man, even if you are defending yourself, because you hear them talk them up. But a lot of the times you see, well, innocent black boys like a Trayvon Martin. Oh, he was this. He was smoking weed. He was this. He was already. He had the hoodie on, and he was a victim. You see what I'm saying? They already try to paint where they say he went to jail, posted mug shot.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? They make him demonize it so it don't seem as if it's not as bad as it looked, because he was already a no good type of dude.
So should your history come into play when we have issues like this?
To a degree, yeah, because it's a pathway to how you got here. So I need, like I said, if you got caught with a knife in school, it shouldn't have been no suspended. You should have got expelled.
I agree.
So it should have been nipped in the bud from there.
If you was expelled, you're not supposed to become to any sports events, none of that.
Yeah.
And if we seen you there, hey, what you doing here? This for the school you expended. You're not supposed to be on school grounds or school activities. So I agree with that, and I think a lot of people. I think that's why so many people are now pulling their kids out of school and are trying to move to certain neighborhoods to feel like they can avoid something like this, or they're just sending their kids to private school.
Yeah, and again, that's why I not to go back to the complex, to where again the victim think he can come over here and tell this boy whatever, as if he's a official or an adult.
So you think it was because he was black? Because just like Jesse said, like the white boys that feel like they that nigga and they the wrestler, they the state champion, they move a certain type of way. Now it don't matter, because I've seen them at school where it don't matter who it is. They just feel like, hey, I could beat your ass, or I could wrestle you, I could choke you. Like they just feel like they got that bravado about themselves, so where they feel like they can say something.
Yeah, that's why I say he got the leadership. So he, like I say, he probably got the bravado. Hey, I'm the big dog. Hey, you in the wrong, because he was at his school. So I'm the big man on campus. I got my team behind me. I got a little bit more confidence to show out now. But again, you putting your hands on this boy.
Yeah.
What you think? What made you think you can do that?
Right.
It's a cause and effect, and it's just a slippery slope.
This is the thing. White boy, this is the real stuff. White boys, they fight a lot.
Yeah.
I went to a school white boys fight a lot. They meet up at the school and fight. They really didn't fight a lot at school, but they would meet at the flagpole or where the trail runs. They will meet up. They will fight a lot. White people believe in fight. The thing is, they believe in fighting, but they don't believe in really so much killing them.
Yeah, they won't shoot each other. They'll fight it out. We just shoot the fade, but we gonna take it to the extreme. I gotta off because I don't want the embarrassment of taking the L. I'm on World Star. You know, we going
because
viral.
You got to ask yourself too. If they told me to leave, why wouldn't you leave as a black man?
Because I'm looking for trouble.
You're looking for trouble because I don't want to be nowhere. I don't care if it was white or black. Yeah. And so I go to somebody opposing team 10. They told me, "Hey, you need to leave." I'm just gonna leave because I know this ain't my 10 anyway.
It's. I think it, and I just think it's some more pieces to it that ain't been spoken on or have not been revealed